It's your views. Nowadays everything's valid, you'll find. Reality exists in the human mind. When faced with the facts, you can opt to be blind. It's your right to choose fake news.
Ladies and gentlemen, live at the Queen Elizabeth Hall, it's Bananarama.
Shakespeare's plays were written by Bacon. Liam Neeson did his own stunts in Taken. Elvis didn't die, he was only faking. True, true, true. The food is great in a Weatherspoon. Native Americans love Daniel Boone. Neil Armstrong never walked on the moon. It's true, true, true. In this brave new world of newspeak, you must keep your wits intact. There's no such thing as falsehood. It's merely an alternative fact. Fact! Psychic Sally is a genuine mystic. Andrew Neil's toupee is so realistic. Vaccinating babies makes them autistic. True, true, true.
You'll be taken care of when you reach old age.
People live well on the minimum wage.
Immigrant kids love living in a cage. True, true, true.
Cigarette smokers are healthier than vapists.
Arlene Foster breaks bread with papists.
Mexican men are all criminals and rapists.
True, true, true.
It's 24-hour news these days, but is it true or not? Chances are it's been engendered by a Russian troll or bot.
What?
The Queen loves Princess Michael of Kent.
Robert Mugabe was a kindly old gent.
Paedophile priests are keen to repent. It's
True, true, true. Santa delivers your gifts on a sleigh. Sex education makes kids gay. EU citizens are welcome to stay. It's true, true, true. Aaron Banks is a modern-day Robin Hood. Priti Patel is a force for good. Harvey Weinstein's misunderstood. It's true, true, true. In your echo chamber, you are quite content to stay, where filter bubbles will ensure you'll be exposed to truth decay. Yay! Richard and Judy are getting divorced. Women in the sex trade are never forced. There's no such thing as the Holocaust. It's true, true, true. There have always been lies, but all the same, Johnson and Trump have upped the game. And if you believe them, you're to blame. It's true, 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 true. It's true, it's true, true.
Good evening and welcome to the latest press conference in the coronavirus pandemic. We have come to the careful conclusion that the only way to combat the virus is to listen to what's his name, Chris? Sam Hanna? Yes, Sam Hanna. So I'll hand over now to the Chief Musical Officer, Sam Hanna. Bye.
The following performance comes with a public warning. This is not appropriate for anybody younger than those of uncertain age, or 15 plus, or for those of a sensitive disposition. To the politically correct snowflakes, this ain't for you. Without further ado, as the Prime Minister said, please welcome to your home and to mine, me. Good evening. And yes, this is a dress, and it was awkward to get into. Anyway, the place was by the river, alone and late at night. A woman stood there weeping, a melancholy sight. And as I moved to help her, she gave a shuddering sigh. And as she plunged into the waters, I hear her mournful cry. Aye! Herpes. I wish I never heard of herpes. I must admit I'm far from chirpy, since I discovered what I called herpes. It's very bad to catch it dirty. Besides, my mother thinks it's dirty. I'll have to tell her it's a wart. I used to dance and dream of romance on my hacienda. Gay caballeros wearing sombreros looks warm and tender. Steamy siestas with Vera vaqueros, fiery fiestas with macho rancheros. One night bewitching and I get this itching on my pudenda. Painful, and everybody so disdainful. They seem to think it's all so shameful, and yet it wasn't even fun. I get this burning, with buzz and nausea returning. I should have been much more discerning. I'd rather herpes simplex 1. A man named Fernandez came from the Andes, full of allure. Tried to say nada to his enchilada, I was so pure. But just a couple of beers and I got myself stewed. Now I have 100 years of solitude, and I'm down on my knees with this bloody disease for which there's no cure. What could be sweeter than to be with a gaucho? But this Chiquita, she just thinks, ouch! Oh, it's terrible when you're refusing a senor. You just go home on your burro. So listen, sisters, be careful when you kiss those misters, or else you'll end with nasty blisters, and you will long for NSU. My story's done now. I think I really better run now, because I'm off to be a nun now. Well, what else can I do with simplex 2? Good evening, and welcome to an evening of song with me. And if you don't know who I am, where have you been? Or what are you doing here? My name is Sam Hanna, and for the next hour and a half or so, I will be sharing stories of love, fame, fortune, growing up, growing out, and going mad at each passing hour. I haven't worn this dress for at least 12 months, and lockdown has obviously taken a toll on my figure, because it's harder getting into a dress 12 months after lockdown than it was before lockdown. I suppose I have to say I was born in the late 1990s, and it does have its benefits, I suppose. I'm technically not classed as a millennial, but I'm very aware of technology. Thank you, Ben. I do look beautiful. I don't need you to tell me that. Thank you. Anyway, as I was saying so beautifully, I'm very aware of technology and how to inform the older generations of how technological devices work. My parents, or especially my mum, does shout my name quite a lot. I do have to admit that the 1990s were a kinder, gentler time. Children were thin. That's because they would walk to school. Adults were thin, but that's because they could smoke anywhere they wanted. Nobody had heard of iPods, Bluetooth. People ate spam rather than found it in their inboxes. A BlackBerry and an apple were the ingredients of a crumble. And of course, back then, nobody had even dreamt of what implications leaving the European Union would have on Britain, or even thought of the word Brexit. Who would have seen Donald Trump in the White House? Apart from The Simpsons, apparently. People would do their bit for the environment, although I don't want to give you the impression that I don't do my bit. Nowadays, I have a compost heap. I recycle assiduously. I have neighbours. I holiday in Mauritius. Yes, I know it's a very long flight, but I pay my carbon offsets, so that makes it alright. Oh, I ain't got the blues. I've got those helping local economies by supporting ecotourism. Well-meaning middle-class whites. I'm concerned with the changing weather patterns. This rain has been torrential, but the speed bumps down at the Waitrose make a four-wheel drive essential. Oh, I ain't got the blues. I've got those. Well, actually, it balances out because the nanny's car is tiny. Socially sensitive whites. I pay my Nigerian cleaner more than the minimum wage. Well, I suppose that someone has to make a stance. And although I'm deeply concerned with illegal immigration, I've got a Ukrainian couple running the house in France. At the thought of battery farming, I invariably sicken, so I'm strictly vegetarian except for fish and chicken. Ooh, I ain't got the blues. I've got those wasn't it fun in the 90s, when everything seemed much simpler, morally compromised whites. I know the criminal classes suffer from social deprivation, but when I got mugged last Tuesday, all I could think of was castration. Ooh, I ain't got the blues. I got those that shouldn't be vindictive, but when it happens to you, it's different. Anti-death penalty whites. I believe that affirmative action can help to solve the race equation. But at my birthday party, I noticed that all my friends are Caucasian. Ooh, I ain't got the blues. I've got those. I won't let my kids buy gangster rap, but I'll read them The Colour Purple. Ethnically welcoming white. I disapprove of landmines like anyone who cares. I hate the fact that the wicked things are made. And although we're probably sending them right now to the next Saddam Hussein, I suppose one has to protect the balance of trade. I always go national health. My GP's really super, but you never know when you'll need a new hip, so I'm insured with Bupa. Ooh, I ain't got the blues. I've got those to get my kids into St. Mary's, but my partner and I have converted. I would buy solar panels if we only had more sunshine. Let's face it, Britain's finished, so I'm moving to New Zealand. Well-meaning middle class white. Oh, so how is everyone doing this evening? Where is everyone watching from? I'd love to know who is watching. Drop a comment if you are watching. Let me know if you're watching on YouTube. Let me know if you're watching on Facebook. Let me know if you're lucky enough to follow me, or be subscribed to me. Tonight I'm going to be touching on a range of You're watching from yourself on Facebook. Tristan, I wore this for you. Cheeky wink. Cheeky wink for you. So tonight I will be touching on a variety of subjects. One of which is love. And love in lockdown is a pain in the backside because you can't do anything. You can't date apart from socially distanced dates. If you're online dating, it's not really fun, and it loses its edge. And I have to say, I've not really attempted with dating for the last 12 months. But I was quite excited by Boris's announcement yesterday. And the words social contact. Because at least I know now that with unlimited exercise and travel for exercise, I can get back into a tip-top condition again. And I can pick up an age-old hobby with friends I had to give up when lockdown came into place. My wife, she come home Friday with a brand new motor car. She told me I could drive it. I said, Megan, you're a star. We drove down to the boozer for a vodka and a fag. Then, of course, we had to celebrate the purchase with a shag. We go dogging. We go dogging. We're a treat for any passers-by out jogging. We do it because we found that when people crowd around, it is somehow more profound when you're dogging. Now, I understand from the comments there are some older members in the audience tonight. And if you are struggling to understand the theme of this song, you could always ask a young person. Indeed, Facebook and YouTube have been primed to take questions. But if you're still unsure at the end of the show, you could try Googling it. Just a word to the wise. If you share a computer, don't forget to clear your history. Well, we drove down to the far end of the car park back of Astor. A threesome was hard at it in a sporty little Master. It made it more exciting as they pressed against the glass. When Megan got a torch out, you could see right up their arse. They were dogging. They were dogging. Believe me, they were more than merely snogging. And though her cheeks were parted, they spoiled when she farted, and we wanted to get started on our dogging. Well, we rushed back to our car because we were randy as two goats. But being late November, we had on our duffel coats. We should have stripped off first before getting back inside, because disrobing in a smart car isn't easy. Have you tried? We were dogging. We were dogging. In the struggle, poor and Megan for her frogging. Our apparel was misguided, because when our heads collided, my manhood then subsided, but that's dogging. Ugh. How are the older members doing now? Not finding it too impenetrable? Leslie, how are you doing? Well, I admit this was a setback, but we were not beaten yet, because she's really very handy with my big bayonet. She quickly had my flagpole of responding to her touch, and the next thing she was upside down and staring at the clutch. We were dogging. We were dogging. The heat was on to stop the windows fogging. Thank God for plastic sheeting, well, one must protect the seating, because the fabric takes a beating when you're dogging. Well, by now a crowd had gathered, it was cheering fit burst, and I was close to peeking, though I like my to come first. Her legs were at the sunroof as I really hit my stride, then I abruptly stopped and cried, the road was so outside. We were dogging. We were dogging. We were so alarmed our arteries were clogging. But we took it on the chin when the coppers were the grin. Said, can anyone join in with your dogging? Oh! Well, as you can imagine, Meg and I were so to bits. She loves to feel a copper shrunken in between her tits. Her ecstasy was mounting, we were feeling so alive. Well, who should want to buy but a bloke from Channel 5? He likes dogging, he likes dogging. He signed us for a series he was flogging. So watch out for Meg and me and the odd celebrity. We were shagging on TV, now be dogging. We'll be dogging, oh we'll be dogging. Oh, think of all the limelight we'll be hogging. Will the credit show Meg's hand massaging my gland? Which is very nicely timed from all that dogging. Thank you very much. It's been a while since I've done this sort of material, and it's great to be doing this material again. Now that song, a lot of these songs this evening are not my own. They belong to various people. And that song belongs to Dilly Keane, who is a 68-year-old lady who just sits at the piano and sings about dogging. And it's absolutely genius. I do have to start to talk about work now. I did start work I started work in December, and it's basically just a bundle of fun. Everyone on the team is just an absolute riot to work with. I love the team. They're a great laugh. And we've got to the point where we do start to take the mick out of each other, where we feel comfortable taking the mick out of each other. So if you see anyone winking at me, and you do get slightly concerned, don't worry. Don't worry at all. People are weird. And this song is dedicated to someone who I don't know if he is in the audience. But this is for Chris. When you're far away from your own country, from all your kith and kin that ye hold dear, when there's ne'er a soul that ye can call your friend, and all the world seems so dark and drear, when your heart is sore and weary, and your long was meant to see your home, that's when I hear a voice keep calling me, name it home. Little chef, I hear you calling, cross the waves, you call to me, for 'tis those mixed grills and not the Highland hills that mean home, sweet home to me. Well, at Heston and at the Watford Gap, 'tis nae wonder all the folk were frowned, for the food they serve you there is awful crap, unlike the little chef's sublime hash browns. There's a shop that sells you lovely souvenirs, they always do their best to please, and their hygiene standards are unbeatable. Every year they check the lavatories. Little chef, I hear you calling, your free man is in my car. Cheery waitresses in their nice wee dresses, and your table match your way are. Little chef, I hear you calling, yours was owned by THF. You had an overhaul with Heston Blumenthal. How I love you, that is dedicated for Chef Trousers himself. And if he didn't see that, I would be very disappointed. So guys from work, make sure he comes back and watches it at some point. There always comes a point in one of my shows where I do something topical. I do something satirical, and when something monumental happens, sometimes the best way to express your feelings is through song. When someone's done a bad thing with fatal consequences, unless a crime's acknowledged, there's no hope of mending fences. So please do now forgive us for our procrastination, for we are in despair up and down the nation. We're so sorry, Britain, we are covered in shame. From the madness of Boris, we're entirely to blame. For some unknown reason, he's in for 5 years. So strap yourself in for some blood, sweat and tears. We're so sorry, Britain, this is a disgrace. They couldn't even sort out a decent test and trace. With the choice of 2 boxes, we've ticked self-destruct. Thus Britain is now comprehensively fucked. Oh, Churchill, we never deserved you. Oh, please come back, Mrs. May. On my deathbed, I will kindly think back to those much better days. We are now in economic disaster, of course with help from Mr. Sunak and his genius. He's out to help out, so to bring the economy back. How'd that work out? We're so sorry, Britain, for Black Lives Matter. In their quest for equality, it never did flatter. They wanted to defund our beloved police, whereas all that we want is sodding world peace. We're so sorry, Britain, for the likes of Farage and his NHS millions, which were just a mirage. Our country's future is stuffed on all fronts, so it's hardly surprising that you think we're all cunts. Oh, Starmer, won't you be our leader? Oh, Labour, show us how it's to be done. On my deathbed, this would be my last thought. The general election is yours to be won. Our country, which was once loved and cherished, has seen the seas start to unfurl. But we're not citizens of nowhere. We are citizens of the world. We are citizens of the world. We are citizens of the world. Whew. I have to give a shout out to Harry, my colleague from Hell, Harry Eastwood, and that was the first song that we have really collaborated on. So a shout out to him. I think because we've done songs relating to the younger generation, I think we now need to think of Lisa and Leslie, where and dedicate a song to the older generation. My parents. Oh, you would like a 12, would you? Here, there you go. There you go. My parents this year would have been married for 30 years in August. And somehow I do think that this song would relate to them. So that this is for the older generation. Leslie and Lisa, this is for you. It's our anniversary, time for celebration. Cause frisky, fair and fabulous defines a generation. Just because we're older doesn't mean we can't feel flirty. We're just as hot to trot tonight as when we both were 30. Wow! Let's do it in the kitchen. My hide wants you to tan it. Prostrate me on the worktop, face down on the granite. Leave the curtains open, darling, let's press the locals. But hang on just a minute while I take off my bifocals. Woo! You put your right hand in, you put your right hand out. But it isn't very comfy and we're both a bit too stout. Oh no, this ain't the hokey cokey anymore. You put your left hand in, you put your left hand out. But then I spot some towels behind the sink we need to grout. Oh no, this ain't the hokey cokey anymore. You bite my and whisper, I'm the sexiest man around. I whisper back, oh hold me darling please. And then you say, oh babe, let's spread the blanket on the ground. I say, with these knees, you put your right leg in, you put your right leg out. Your teeth ground to handles, what's happened to the spout? Oh no, this ain't the hokey cokey anymore. Let's move into the bedroom and cast off our apparel. There's still some mileage in the tanks of beer left in the barrel. They'll take us both to heaven once you've had your medication. And I'll close my eyes to hide the look of grim determination. You put your right hand in, you put your right hand out. I removed my hearing aids, so now you're gonna have to shout. What's that? Hokey pokey? Okie dokie? Oh, hokey cokey. You put your left leg in, you put your left leg out. I go to suck your toe, of course it aggravates your gout. Oh no, this ain't the hokey cokey anymore. I know you're disappointed that I'm not a bit more naughty, but I'm worried about the way we've gone 10 weeks. And believe me, if I could, I would try position 40, but with these knees, you put your right leg in, you put your right leg out. Oh crap, I put my hip out. Oh no, this ain't the hokey cokey anymore. Oh no, this ain't the hokey cokey anymore. Oh no, this ain't the hokey cokey anymore. See, I do something for everyone. I appeal to all generations. As I was saying movingly earlier, about socialising. Socialising during lockdown is an absolute pain because you can't. No worries, Leslie. Yeah, socialising during lockdown is a pain because you can't do it. But I have found the perfect way to socialise. '80s, 21st, weddings, christenings, milestones rushing past, anniversaries, then retirement. Life goes by so fast. I like to think there'll always be excuse for celebration. And the parties I go to nowadays don't need an invitation. I'm off to a funeral, hippity-hip hooray. A person I didn't know very well has sadly passed away. The funeral is in Leamington Spa, which is always nice to visit. And then my time of life is a pleasant day out, there's not too much to ask now, is it? I'm off to a funeral, a colleague of mine is dead. The woman bored me for years and years, now she's boring God instead. I have to set off early, the journey a bit of a swine. But my bag is large and roomy, so I can nick a bottle of wine. But oh gosh, I don't get out like I used to do. At my age, festive occasions are far too few. Last rites give us a chance to fraternise. We'll sing some boring hymns and then we'll socialise. I'm off to another funeral with sandwiches and cake. I'll meet up with those ghastly cousins of mine. I'll have a jolly good wake. We'll tell each other you haven't changed, we'll be lying through our teeth. Donate to the chosen charity, well, it's cheaper than a wreath. We all must die, it's part of God's grand design. The late lamented had a sad decline. She didn't want to go on, her bed sores were chronic. May want a triple Hendrix, please, just a splash of tonic. It's yet another funeral, someone's gone to eternal rest. There's a humanist service, so that'd be glory. The Catholics do it best. Oh yes, it's sad that what's her face has met her timely end. But secretly assuring to think I've outlived another friend. Oh, are you having fun? I see you in every place I go. When you turn round, it's no one I know. How could you vanish without a trace, leaving your smile on another man's face? 'Cause I'm haunted, haunted, haunted. Trains pull away, was that you I saw? Then you're there in a revolving door, reflected in windows all over town. In the lift going up, I pass you going down. 'Cause I'm haunted, haunted, haunted. Someone has stolen your walk today. Someone knows just how to talk your way. I turn around and you're right on cue. And it's always you and yet it's never you. 'Cause I'm haunted, haunted, haunted. Was that you there at the swimming pool? Ran to the changing rooms, what a fool. Strangers are looking me up and down, but you are nowhere to be found. 'Cause I'm haunted, haunted, haunted. Pick up the phone, it's your voice I hear. I see you in crowds, but you disappear. Glimpsing your handwriting in the post. I sick of shadows and I'm scared of ghosts. 'Cause I'm haunted, haunted, haunted. When will it cease? Leave me in peace, 'cause I'm haunted, haunted, haunted. Somehow I know wherever I go I'll be haunted, haunted, haunted. I'll be haunted, haunted. I hope everyone has a large drink in their hands. You can drink on my behalf. I cleverly forgot my alcoholic beverage, which was extremely clever. When I normally do a gig, there's normally some form of comedy, and there's always something to ground you halfway through the first half. And I'm regarding tonight's show as a game of two halves. I mentioned my parents before. I love them to pieces. Although they annoy the hell out of me, and I annoy the hell out of them. I, I'm the only boy of 5 children. So apparently, according to my sisters, if you speak to any of my sisters, they would say, "Oh, he's a mummy's boy." Completely. He is completely. I fail to agree. But I did notice that when I went to uni in 2016, 2017, that my mum was very sad to see me go. She probably felt like her life was pointless, really, without having me to sort of look after. She only had my younger sister Becca to look after, and Becca's a girl, so she was more of a daddy's girl than she was a mummy's girl. And I can imagine my mum sat slumped in front of the telly watching Pointless, perhaps probably feeling that her life is pointless. Seeming it was only Becca to care for now. Uh, as I said, I started working in December. And I, 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 they keep increasing the retirement age, so I imagine I will be working until long after I'm dead. At least I'll be earning an honest wage, because people seem to live forever nowadays, don't they, Mother? When I was a baby, dear mother, you minded me, kept me as safe and as loved as can be. But now many years have gone by since those days, and I'm caring for you just as you cared for me. As you dribble your complan all over your nightie, I've thought of a quick way to meet the Almighty. Oh, mother, dear mother, the mountains are cooling. Let's sit by Lake Zurich, admiring the view. Your hearing is failing, your health is appalling. It's time that we bade this existence adieu. So no more debating, oh, why are you waiting? Your will just needs dating. Sign here, dear. Oh, mother, dear mother, there's no sense in stalling. My ticket's return, here's a single for you. Oh, mother, dear mother, you spend your life resting. You're always complaining that you're bored to tears. Your bladder's packed up, you have trouble digesting. Your heart's kept you housebound for several years. The clinic is calming, the nurses are charming. You won't need embalming to come, Mum. They know what they're doing, it's not like they're testing. I hope that satisfies all of your fears. Oh mother, dear mother, you're not a believer. Your soul's immortality's not a concern. We'll fly into Dignitas via Geneva, and then Utah comes with a glass of Sultans. The record is stainless, the exit is painless. So before you're quite brainless, Tatana, I've given up hope that you die of a fever. So please let me bring you back home in an urn. I'm fantastically famous and recently married. You saw shots on my nuptials and okay and hello. There was me and my wife, the children she's carried, but we need one more child to complete the tableau. Now we admire Angelina, Nicole and Callista, they're great stars and great mothers, if that doesn't sound corny, yo. And next month she stars in a remake of Twister, so we've no time for childbirth, so we're off to Borneo. And orangutans having my baby. Believe me, it's true, the technique isn't new. For a sperm that's produced from my testicle will be popped in a tube with her ovarian follicle. The pluses are many and various when maternity's rendered vicarious. While the primate gets bigger, my wife will keep her figure. Well, and an ape isn't likely to sue. It's terribly tricky, one has to admit, to balance a family with a career. Pregnancy plus all that postpartum bit can keep women grounded for nearly a year. They say women bloom, but that's just so much mush. It often puts off the significant other, and one is until you're in with vaginal thrush. So that's why we wanted a surrogate mother. And orangutans having my baby. She's hefty but sweet and super discreet. It's important to me that she's vegetarian. I won't mind the scars if she has a cesarean. We're employing for her part tuition a vet and a top obstetrician. And don't say we're unheeding, she'll do the breastfeeding while she hangs upside down from her feet. And orangutans having my baby. People do it these days, yes, even the gays. Being slave to one's craft need not be a barrier. But one can outsource a gestation or carrier. And orangutan host is the best as we are randomly matching trimesters. So it's not exploitation, it's just conservation, which good in a number of ways. For this process ensures that the species endures when we've chopped down the jungle for mates. Oh. We are nearing what I lovingly call Act 1. It's a roller coaster show, isn't it? I hope everyone's enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, well, bye. If you are enjoying it, leave a comment, like the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to us. Both Harry and I are starting a new podcast very soon on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, it's Real Nonsense on YouTube. So go and check that out. I have no idea what I'm going to sing before I bring on a very special guest to speak to the nation. Yes, that old chestnut. So, before I bring on my special guest, I'd like to thank you all for coming and for staying awake. Well, most of you anyway. And this is dedicated to someone who knows who they are. When a gentleman like me, of a certain age, meets a girl that he likes on the prom or the plage, he knows that she's bound to come bearing bagage, the emotional kind. So what, I don't mind. For an alpha male like me, who is racy and fast, must admit to a rippingly colourful past. And just look around you, the choices are vast. I'd probably make do, well, almost with you. Yes, you. No. Except I'm in love with a girl who I'm dating. We're mad for each other. It's simply elating. And the best of it all is she's separating. So she cannot move and right away. But I love her. And she loves me. So what can we say? Is she fantastic? She's topping. Generous with plastic. Out shopping. Handsome, no greying, and so de-stonking. I love to buy her lingerie, a phone twice a day. Lovely weekends and secluded hotels. I've even hinted at wedding bells, but we'll have to wait ere the banns can be read, because she's a teensy bit more married than she said. Is she a charmer? She's naughty. Quite a disarmer for 40. She says she can't leave the twins who are 8. I've told her I'm prepared to wait. She thinks that's great. Often we manage to meet at weekends. That's if he hasn't invited their friends. Seems the poor darling is too thinly spread, but then she's quite a bit more married than she said. Is she my mate? Oh, of course, sir. She can't wait for him to divorce her. When she is with him, she only pretends. She's always having to make amends for lost weekends. Oh, how she suffers! She feels such a louse. I can't see why she should give him the house. Doesn't he realise that marriage is dead, or is she quite a lot more married than she said? Is she a cat? Oh, please, God, no. But she's a maddening sod, though. Weekends I spend poring over my chart. She's saying, she calls to say I must not lose heart, they slip apart. But I can't say that, it gives me a boost, knowing right now she is being induced. Next time I see the bloke, I'll kick in his head, because they're a bloody sort more married than she said. If only she wasn't so brilliant in bed, Oh, 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 oh. But she's definitely more, infinitely more, miles more married than she said. Oh! I will be back after this very short message from a very old friend.
I do not believe it. Another press conference, another lockdown. Well, that's just about it. That's just about the absolute limit of all bloody time. Oh, hello! I'd like to speak to the Prime Minister, please, and be quick about it. No, he doesn't, but he will shortly. Oh, hello! Is that Mr. Boris Johnson? Oh, yes, it's about the fact that we're still in lockdown a year later, and why it's taken a whole year to close our borders. A mistake anyone could have made. I mean, how anyone could be so utterly stupid just boggles the mind. I suggest you all flush your heads down the toilet and hope some common sense flows between your ears. I need to calm down now. What can I do? Ah, yes. I'll listen to Sam Hanna.
When I'm standing in the street, I say to all the men I meet, "Hello, bonjour, monsieur." Perhaps if it's a sunny day, I sit outside a small cafe. "Hello, bonjour, monsieur." And maybe if a gentleman seems to want to hold my hand, why then, say parfait. After all, a girl must live, and I got lots of love to give. But I never forget to say, where is your Johnny now? Johnny, don't be a tease. Won't blame me if I don't want a nasty disease. It's a good tactic, just one prophylactic in your pocket, just for luck. So love me your desires, remember the virus before you come unstuck. At night I meet my artist friends. The fun and laughter never ends. Hello, bonjour, monsieur. Oh, how I love la vie bohème. I love you, gentilhomme the stem. Hello, bonjour, monsieur. And je suis un vagabond. And I'm some to make the alcohol phone. So it's a man I mimic free. But before I go in my beau père, I like to take a little care. After all, this is gay Paris. Where is your Johnny now? Johnny, heavens above. Without a little precaution, Johnny, let's not make love. Just one little trickle and I'm in a pickle. It's no use to be contrite. Maintenance say, come here, fool, for how can I know who you were with last night? Oh, those halcyon days, life was lived in an age, and is gone in a flood. But oh, a cheeky bonjour, another a moon, and you walk with a hash. To the doctor for some creams, a Sebian. Alors, je ne regrette rien. So, where is your Johnny now? Johnny doesn't float on the Seine. Whatever you do with your Johnny, Johnny, don't use it again. If you are fond of me, please use your condom. We extra strong to stop leaks. So then be a good fellow, use red, green or yellow. Put some colour in my cheeks. All together now, where is your Johnny now? Johnny, don't be a clown. So we will have lots of fun. Johnny, there's no going down. Before swapping saliva, Tommy means spend a fiver. You know you need not break the bank. For unless you're equipped, you got to stay zipped. You'll have only yourself to thank. So it's probably better if you've got no French letter. Oh dear. Yes, it's probably better to wank. Welcome back. After the very short interval, I hope you had time to refresh your drinks. If not, you moved too slow. You moved far too slow. How's everyone doing? We are past the hour mark. I will probably go for another half an hour or so before I collapse. Or run out of material. Or before I get complained at. Too slow. Jason, you're too slow. I'm glad you did get to meet my French female alter ego, Sandy Cheeks. She lives a very troubled life, and she did actually write this song for me. She came from France just before the pandemic as an artiste. She was an artiste, and she came over here to do gigs and to do music professionally. And COVID struck, theatres closed, and there was no more music to be played. And fortunately enough, I came and took her under my wing. And that's the sort of legend that I am. And this song was written by Sandy Cheeks. Well, not Sandy Cheeks, that's SpongeBob. It's Sandy Cracks, sorry. And yes, she came over to London, made her way down to the southwest, and found me. I won't sing this in a French accent, Joe. Just because I wouldn't like to offend her. So I will sing this in a strong Janner accent. Would help if I was in the right key. Darling, there's a little place I know somewhere where the two of us can go, where the tidal waters gently flow. Oh mon chéri, come there with me. Hope has faded for prosperity. We'll leave nothing for posterity. Thanks to 10 years of austerity. Sure, life's not fair, but we're in fresh air. Sous les ponts de Londres, think of all we'll have. In McDonald's yonder, a cup of tea and a chance to pee and a wash in the lab. Underneath the arches, I can barely feel my toes. Life can be tough while sleeping rough, but darling, who cares? C'est la vie en rose. London has so many habitats, all those empty $1 million flats, while we bed down at night among the rats, living in large, no service charge. Home is here upon the boulevard. The spikes they put here make it awful hard. No one has cash, they only have a card. But on the street, who needs to eat? Sous les ponts de Londres, that's where we belong. With little wealth to squander, we get our hides and improvise a pipe or a bong. Scrabbling through the garbage, we might unearth the treat. We root around, look what we found, a half-eaten bun and warm palm frites all together. Sous les ponts de Londres, there's more of us each year. Mon copain, let us ponder. As people shop, they rarely stop. It's like they're not here. In a cardboard palace, our life is toujours gay. So hold me tight, and every night under the stars is where we stay. And if we die while sleeping, why, we're there in our box to be carried away. Who knows? Sandy Cracks may be back, Lydia, towards the end of the evening. Who knows? I certainly don't. The next two songs are love songs, and they don't necessarily fit together. And this song is one of my favourite songs that I've ever written and I've ever performed, and it's a short starter. If my songs in shows were like a football team, it would be in the starting 11, not on the bench. And again, Harry, my wonderful friend Harry Eastwood, rewrote this for me. Maybe he's trying to tell me something. I've had a love since the dawn of time. Now I know it brings me such a shame. And I feel that it's a name that I cannot forget. So now I shall reveal her name. The name that has brought me such shame. It's the name of the game. Pretty Patel. When I think of what she does, the borders past me will start to swell. Oh, pretty Patel. I think that as a pair we'd gel. For she has brought me out of my shell. My heart goes boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy bottom boom. Boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy bottom boom. Boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy boom baddy bottom boom bottom boom. I've got a love that brings me much regret. It always brings the sorrows and tears. I guess I'm crying. And I feel that is his name that I cannot forget. Wanna hear it? Tough. Well, okay. I shall reveal that person's name. Louis Spence. I love a man in leggings, even if he is a bit intense. Louis Spence. With him, I have no common sense. But he's boosting my self-confidence when I'm a dancer. When I'm a dancer, my heart goes boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Bang. But there is a love that I think comes out on top. And when I think of the others in the cabinet, well, he's the cream of the crop. 'Cause he's stunningly handsome. And he's terribly witty. And all I want to do with him is have an itty bitty. Do nothing day. Matt Hancock. I know that to some people this revelation may come as a shock. Matt Hancock. I have dreams of him wearing my blue frock. And I'm preparing myself for those who will mock. And I'm prepared to lend him my stock. 'Cause he is my rock. He ain't got a clue what he's doing. Oh dear God, we're finally ruined. Ooh. This next song is the second of two love songs. I've never actually done this before, so I'm slightly worried about how this is going to go. And this is one of Harry's favourite songs. So I'm dedicating this for Harry. But if anyone needs any advice on love during lockdown, maybe this song may offer some advice. How's everyone doing anyway? Love is just so complicated. Love is frankly overrated. The more we learn, the less we seem to know. And though we know that you say pitch, we sometimes have a private wish. But that we could change the status quo. Oh, oh, oh. Wouldn't it be nice to be a lesbian? Telling all the chaps to take a hike. I don't want to get too graphic, but my smile would be seraphic. If tomorrow I was sapphic, we could share my partner's bike. Look, no bar. I turn my back on every Casanova. To spend my life with someone who revered Navratilova. It might not be comme il faut, but if someone bummed my donut, then I might be very happy as a dyke. Wouldn't it be nice to be a lesbian? though I'm not sure how my grandparents would take the news. A girlfriend just like Ellen, or a female in McKellen, a bird with bonds and melons and some interesting tattoos. Whoa. Oh, I would find it really life-enhancing, spending every single Friday night line dancing as we twirled to Katie Lang. My yang would meet her yang, do-si-doing in a pair of comfy shoes. Wouldn't it be nice to be a lesbian? If only there was something we could do. Find it makes me bumpy when both the chests are bumpy and I miss a rumpy pumpy. Yes, I'm sorry, but it's true. I like the way the two bits fit together, with no disrespect to birds of a different feather. And it would be a waste to use a turkey baster to make the strip of litmus turn to blue. The appellation will not stick to me. I won't have a strapodictomy. And I'm afraid I'm not a lesbian, boo. So as my theories all collapse, I'll admit it, I love chaps. Hold on a minute. No. And I'll never be a lesbian, how about you? That is probably one of the most scariest songs I've ever done, because I know what snowflakes people are these days. And people get offended at the littlest thing. Now, it's nice to see that the vaccination plan is going swimmingly at the moment. I'm only aware of one person who's had the vaccine, and he had it today. I've asked him to warn me if he grows any feet out of his head. Very well put, Jason. Very well put. But it's safe to say that coronavirus has taken the whole world, or did take the whole world by surprise, including medical experts. As the virus continues to mutate and spread, the vaccine. People say that the vaccine was developed far too quickly, and that they don't know what sort of effects it's going to have. Well, I can say that I've spoken with Professor Whitty today, and he has warned me that if anyone is pregnant whilst receiving the vaccination letter, just be warned, because there are major side effects, as I will now show in the medium of song. This is a joke. Just a little side note. This is a joke. I'm not creating any rumours. It's a joke. Two little pairs of big brown eyes, two little button noses, two little smiles with two little faces, four little cheeks like roses, two little fellas born under the crab, conceived in a little glass tube in a lab. Yes, you're a unique scientific creation, the very last word in genetic mutation. Dear little two-headed baby, darling wee lamb, how lucky I am. Double the brains of an ordinary child, asleep in a Y-shaped pram. Two little mittens, and 2 or 3 boots. 1.5 sets of birthday suits. Oh, what a gift! Murder to lift that 2-headed baby of mine. Dear little 2-headed baby, while you're asleep, you bark like a sheep. Though your first steps will be hard to take, for mankind you're a giant leap. How I long for a child, it was well worth the wait. What joy to give birth at 108. Christened in church, all thanks to research, that 2-headed baby of mine. And what's better yet, he can sing a duet. That 2-headed baby of mine. I feel like this almost penultimate song needs a bit of a background. Now I do mention Harry quite a lot. Harry and I met at university. We were in the same halls as each other. We went through the same hellish situation together, and we stuck together. And he was on environmental science. I was on music. But he was a grade 8 pianist. We shared the same interests. And we formed a double act called, well, what is now called Real Nonsense. We've had multiple names, multiple sort of faces join us. And when I was asked to do this show by lots of people at work saying, "Oh, are you doing another show? Are you doing another show? When are you doing it?" I wanted to look back on the back catalogue of songs that we had done, and tonight has been a mix of back catalogue with new material. And I met with Harry on Friday to discuss this show and discuss the set list, and we both agreed that this would be the first song from the back catalogue to make a reappearance. Here it is. Well, it's another Saturday night, and I'm feeling kind of single, standing with the other guys. Find it hard to mingle. We're talking in the kitchen, drinking cheap red wine, or hoping for a hero who'll say, "Your place or mine." Stereo is blaring out old hits by Status Quo. The only girl I dance with keeps treading on my toes. She's really quite nice looking, but somehow she just misses. Our conversation's fine, just don't like the way she kisses. Saturday night are made for couples. Saturday night is made for fun. Saturday nights, but bloody disaster when you're just one. It's another Saturday night, and all my clothes are pressed and sewn. Got invited to a party, don't really fancy it on my own. Sitting in my lounge, and I must say it looks very nice. Mind you, it damn well should do. I've cleaned the bastard twice to feel the idle moments. I do the Cosmo quiz. Oh God, are you always at parties? Or does your social life like this? I scored a marks, I'm a success, and I should feel riot. The magazine's such rubbish. I don't know why I buy it. Saturday night is made for lovers. Saturday night you should spend with your friend. So all I ever do on Saturday is wait for it to end. I suppose I should take a lover, like all the magazines say. The only girls I meet are either spoken for or gay. Through the week I don't mind. I mean, I really don't mind if I'm not nightly seduced. It's just on Saturdays it gets a bit wearing if you're stuck at home trying to get through proofs. Saturday night is made for two stones. Saturday night's no night to be on the shelf. Saturday nights are hopeless fiasco when you're by yourself. Saturday night is made for couples. Saturday night is made for fun. Saturday night is a bloody disaster when you're just one. The subtitles are great, are they, Jason? What are the subtitles? I can only imagine what tripe it comes out with. I feel that as we are at the end of the show, I should disappear, and I shall leave you in the capable hands of Miss Sandy Cracks. Well, bonjour. Thank you for tuning. How do you say? Tuning in to my colleagues' performance. I have one final piece of advice. I am going slightly Geordie now. Sam, get back here. Okay, so Sandy, if we can find the sheet music for this song, which seems to have disappeared off of the face of the earth, we would like to leave you with some advice. Thank you for watching. You are all absolute legends. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, leave some feedback in the comments. If you haven't enjoyed it, bugger off. You were warned at the start. But I think in these trying times, there is only one thing that we can do. You know you are what? I'm confused. Have I joined like half a conversation now? Everyone behave. Jason's hammered. Dad, who knows what you're going on about? And I can't find this bloody music. It's all going swimmingly well. Let's make it up as we go along, eh? It's not as if we've not been doing that all evening. When confronting Armageddon, you must try to keep your head on. Foolish panicking won't get you very far. Though you run round helter skelter, it's too late to build a shelter, so it's best to stay exactly where you are. No time to curse the government in rude and angry language. No time to phone your loved ones or to eat a last sandwich. No time to pack a suitcase for your trip to paradise. So why not dispense with civil offence in favour of this advice? Stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye and whistle while you do. Try to see, this is why we need. This is why I need music. Oh, how fun this is. Try to grin and bear it. No. Try to grin and bear it as you face another eye for the final rendezvous. When the warning bell is sounded, there's no call for bitter tears. The hat be blown to Haiti and your trousers do to years. Salute for the friend who's been good to you for years, amid you're behind a Jew. There's no need to be skittish, just remind yourself you're British, and you don't give in to infamy or violence. Just remember the Titanic, the upper classes, do not panic, and the good old lower orders die in silence. Prepare yourself to face the many horrors life will hand you. Be valiant like Montgomery, Mr. Trump and dear Prince Andrew. And collect your moral kickback from the quartermaster store, and with stiff upper lip, neutral grip, we join the dinosaurs. Stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. Keep humming while you sing songs with South Pacific Happy Talk or Bally High, or the hits from Rigadoon. It's a sight more entertaining than watching a plummet in shares. And if you do survive, you can exhibit yourself at fairs. Think you look a wally, well who the devil cares? It'll all be over soon. Stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye, and yodel to the loo. Firmly grip your ankles as you bow to face the sky. Will change your point of view. Yes, it's nice to think that you would have to pay your council tax, but you'll be in a bit of a bind if you haven't put on your slacks. So pray to God your sphincter doesn't suddenly relax. You're beating your bum a Jew. If you double bend, you double hook your toes inside your collar, and as you sold the pass, give a final angry holler to Kim Jong-un, Donald Trump, and the current Ayatollah. You left it too late to sue. More's a pity. There is bother all else you can do. Thank you. And to lead you to your sleep, here is the wonderful Harry Eastwood in his persona of Gladys.
Hello to all the viewers, I'm Gladys. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the show. The real question now is, will I make it to the hairdresser's in 2 months' time, as my hair will be so long I won't be able to see a flying squirrel. Hold in there, folks, it won't be long until I'll be hitting the clubs this summer and getting absolutely plastered with a lot of you. Stay safe, and have a safe journey home. Oh, well, you should be at home, and if you're not, then you're a naughty bugger.